Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. So I'm just going to start here with your overall energy. Let's just find out what is happening in your world. Tell me what's influencing you right now. Tell me about your past. Tell me about your near future. What else do you need to know? You have a chapter that's closing. I don't normally start interpreting, but this feels very much like an ending and a beginning, quite literally. Because I'm getting the World followed by the Ace of Pentacles. One's an ending, one's a beginning. So your overarching energy right now is Page of Pentacles. There is still something here that you're learning, and it's kind of one of those things where you're learning about this in different ways. So this doesn't feel like somebody's communicating something to you. It's almost like you're discovering things about yourself, but through interesting means. Like you could be in a store and you hear two people over talking, or a conversation between two people, and you're overhearing the conversation, and you can easily see yourself in the shoes of that one person, responding the way that one person does. But because you're not in the situation, you're able to objectively see how the other person's responding to the person that you relate to. And now you're kind of learning some of these things about you. And that's kind of how I feel that you're learning about these things. And I'm actually kind of seeing it too. It's a very shady picture, like, as far as it's not very clear. It's very kind of fuzzy. It's the right word, fuzzy. So there's something here that you're learning. And what it's allowing you to do, we've got the Ten of Wands here in reverse. You're releasing a lot of burdens here. This is definitely some sort of cycle that's ending. With the Fool in reverse, it's not like you're going to lose these lessons. This is experience that you're going to gain, and this is really going to help you in the future be able to respond to things in a much better way. And by better, I mean really for your own happiness. Here, the universe wants you to continue releasing whatever it is that you're releasing, whatever has been holding you back, whatever these burdens are. They've been very toxic for you. It feels like it was a way of behaving or responding. You're releasing that. And the universe wants you to continue, because this is an evolution. It's not like a flip of a switch here. The Hermit in your past position. So could have been dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. This feels a lot like you really took the time and the effort, and you have been, to figure out exactly where you need to grow in your evolution, and that's what you're doing. I'm getting the Three of Wands here in your strength position. You're willing to wait for the results that are necessary. It's kind of like, this feels a little out of character for you, but only in one sense. In one sense, you're a fire sign, so you always want what you want when you want it. And then there's also this need to always have fairness and to be happy. And that's really what's driving this right here, is that you're taking the time to slow down and let things develop as they should. King of Wands here in reverse, sitting in your near future. This, whatever this is your behavior that you're releasing. This is a response. I don't know how else to describe it. It's how you're reacting to situations, to other people, to specific conversations. There's a reaction here that you're learning to let go of. And not in a bad way. It just, if somebody hurts you, you may have been one to lash out at another person, but instead you're going to take that step back and say, is that what the person really meant by the conversation? Maybe they meant it differently, and that they didn't know they were coming across that way. So maybe that's the conversation that you start to have, instead of just reacting to their behavior. Again, this is the World. This is a chapter closing. very closely followed with the Ace of Pentacles, because this is a new beginning. This is a solid foundation that you're establishing for yourself. This is something that you can grow, and this is something that will grow into something that is very solid for you. You know this. You're allowing it to happen. These two cards are always very connected, these two positions. Hopes or fears, I've got you, Temperance, Sagittarius, sitting here in your hopes or fears position. You want that balance. You're always striving for fairness. Very much like a Libra in that sense, where you want things to be fair. Eight of Cups, in your potential outcome, there is something that you're walking away from. I'll find out some more clarity here in just a second, but it does feel like that's that old way of behaving, the old way of thinking. You are absolutely releasing something here, Sagittarius. Let's see if we can get one card on the Fool and Ten of Wands in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse. I actually got two cards here, and I got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So you are already releasing it, whether you realize it or not. You've already started the mindset shift. And the reason that you're doing it is because you're finally understanding what it means to get what you want, to have your wishes being fulfilled. And what you also understand too is that this has been holding you back. Whatever your old way of behaving was has been holding you back. It's been creating these burdens. Tell me about the Devil in reverse. Nine of Swords. This here is not an easy transition. It has never been easy. Change is never easy, really. Maybe sometimes it is, but for the most part, it's not really, because it's uncomfortable. You're always very comfortable continuing on the way that you have been. But what this is telling me is that this is like a pretty powerful change happening within inside you. This is something where this is not a small behavior. This is something that probably affects you more than you realize. And it's taken a lot to get you through it. And at the same time, as you're going through this uncomfortable stage of redeveloping yourself, it's causing you a lot of anxiety, but it's also helping you to release some of that anxiety, if that makes sense. Tell me about the Hermit in the past position. We have the Hanged Man. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. That typically happens when you're really go introspective to focus on what it is that you're trying to learn. You do tend to be in a solo energy. You tend to kind of put a pause on everything else. That's what this Hanged Man is doing. Three of Wands down here is clarified with the King of Cups. You're doing this for your own good. You know this. You're giving yourself the opportunity to grow and to let things develop the way they should for your own good. You know this. Tell me about this King of Wands in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. You are going to be able to move past whatever this is. Whatever you've been trying to release, you're going to be successful at releasing it. You know how to do it. You've already started the work. I can already feel it. Tell me about this ending here with the World. Four of Wands in reverse. So whatever has made you unhappy in the past, it's ending. Wherever you feel like you've been shortchanged in life, that's ending. But it's because of this mindset shift. Tell me about this. Okay. So with the Ace of Pentacles being clarified with the Ace of Wands in reverse. So you've got two aces here. You've got a new beginning happening. But what I really like about this is that you're establishing a very solid foundation for yourself instead of just reacting, being impulsive, being a little bit immature, and just going after what you want regardless of the consequences. That's not what you're doing. You're very conscious of how you're rebuilding, how you're establishing this foundation. What are the consequences? If I do this, what happens? There's a lot of thought behind this. Tell me about Temperance. Interesting. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying Temperance. That's your fear. That's your fear. Your fear is that you're going to revert back to your old ways, that you're not going to truly be able to move forward and reestablish a foundation, that you're never going to get the fairness that you constantly seek. You're going to lose the optimism that you have. Tell me about this Eight of Cups. Five of Swords in reverse. So by moving away, allowing and freeing yourself of this past behavior that was actually holding you back, this very toxic behavior that was holding you back, you're actually freeing yourself of a lot more. There's a lot of conflict that will no longer happen because you are just approaching things differently. You're responding to other people's words and actions differently. That feels a lot like what this is, that when it comes to how you respond in different relationships, you're changing, you're modifying your response. And it actually is going to solve a lot more anxiety and grief, a lot of problems that you didn't even realize were being created by it. So let's get one last message from the universe to close out your reading. I got begin now, take your first step. Yeah, you are absolutely starting a whole new chapter, Sagittarius. So this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and happy birthday. Take care.